Today we're going to set up goals in the adaptive system. The first thing you're going to do is click on admin, and then you're going to click on feature setup. This will bring you to this screen. Over on the left hand side you will see 4 different options. You're going to click on goals, and then you're going to click right here on manage goals. Once you get into the screen, you're going to notice that we already have several goals set up in here, but I'm going to go in and put a brand new one in. So over here on the right hand side you can see create new goals. I'm clicking on that. I'm going to name my goal and then I'm going to start working on this part of the screen. So the first thing that comes up is the date that the actual goal is going to begin on. So I like to set mine to the first day of the month, that way I just know it's for the full month. The next thing down you're going to do is the task. So you can see here we have multiple tasks that you can do. You have number of observations coached, number of observations reviewed, and then you can do a goal for each checklist. Or down here at the bottom we do have ones that you can set up for action item types. The next thing down is going to be how often you want this. So I'm going to have 2 goals and I want them per month. So that's what I'm going to select. But I also want to point out one other thing. So over here, if you click on weekly, you'll see that we have a couple different options. This weekly goal will allow you to select what date you want to start the goal on. So you can select Wednesday rather than maybe Sunday or Monday if that's when your week starts. It's entirely up to you. I am going to put back to monthly because that's the one I'm working on. And the day I want to start on for it to repeat on is the 1st. So I'm going to do that. Click that. And then this is another option that you can select here. So you can see here, first Thursday of every month, it'll start, or you can do this one. It's one or the other. As you scroll down the screen, there's the end date. So this is one that I'm going to select never ending because I always want this goal to be in there for my team. But you can have it where it occurs maybe twice, so you only have 2 months of this goal, or it can end on, a certain date. So that's up to you what you want to select there. And as we scroll down the screen, you're going to see this box right here. Now you can have multiple rules, which is what I'm getting ready to set up in this one box right here. I'm going to just do one mainly today. So when you click on this first drop down, you're going to see some options that you can select. So you can have it by the role level, where I can set a goal for all observers that they have to have 2 per month. But I'm going to set up one for teams, and so I'm going to actually pick my team. So what I'm going to come back here and do is I'm going to come back to this little drop down, click users, and then I'm going to select my team. And you just select them by selecting the names in the list. So here's my team. I've set that goal up. Now I'm going to save it so it saves all these. But also I want to point out, like I said, you can click on this and add a whole nother rule right down here if you wanted to add another one while you're in here for a monthly goal like this. I'm going to delete that one. I'm going to click save. Now I have a goal for a Team B monthly goal. Now you can see in here there's an action button next to each one of these checklists. You can click on the action button and you have 2 options. You can delete it, which will fully not delete it out of the system. It'll keep it in here, but it'll make it non-active. Or you can edit it, where you can come in and change those options that we just selected in here. So that's how you set up the goals. Now I do want to point out a couple things with these goals. So if you're going to do a user goal like I just set up, I really suggest that you do this other step. So this step is going to consist of you coming into the administration button, going down to users, and then I'm going to select a user that I want to have this goal set for. So let's just use this person right here. We're going to select Abby. I'm going to go in, I'm going to edit her, and we're going to go over here to the Teams button. So this is where I can set up I set my goal up, and I want to see everybody that reports to me and how they're doing on their goals. So this is where I would come in, I'd select all these people that I want to see. These are my direct reports. They directly report to me. And then I also put in my person that I report to right here. So if I log in as Adam Ross right now, he's going to be able to see me, and he's going to see my direct reports underneath him to see how they're doing. But I'm going to go back, I click save, and I'm going to actually log in as Abby. All right, so I can see here I logged in as Abby, I'm logged in as her, and I'm going to show you a few of the dashboard cards that you can use for what we just set up. So the first one that I like is the activity breakdown dashboard card. So you can see here, here's Abby, and she had 4 direct reports that were underneath her, so all 4 of those people are showing right here. If they had done any goals, they would be showing right here, and you could see their progress and how they're doing in this little line right here. So let's do this. Let's back it up a month and see if she's got any from there. You can also have multiple goals. So in this activity breakdown, it's actually going to show all the ones that apply to her. So she's got some coaching goals in there. She's got admin observer goals, but she's also got some monthly goals that she's set up for her users. So you can see that they were required to do one, but nobody has done one also. But once you do start seeing the line progress, it'll be red at first. Once they get about halfway done with their goals, it'll start to turn yellow. And then once they get to the end of the line, it'll turn green down here. So this is one of the many dashboards you can use for these goals, but if you're wanting to have it look like this, you will have to go in and set up those direct reports and the reports too. That way you can come in and see this. There are a couple other dashboard cards for goals that I want to point out. The next one is the metric card right here I'm going to click on. And you can see underneath the second drop down that there's a couple goals that are already in there. So you'll see Abby's weekly goals, Abby's monthly goals. If I want to get a percentage of how they're doing on those goals, I can select that, and then I'll get a percentage if they put any in. So you can see that in there. So that's just 2 of the ones that you can actually use in here. Also want to point out that if you are using goals, there is a new report that just came out, and it's called Goal Tracking. And you can go in and look at that. It's a little bit of kind of like what we saw already with the activity breakdown, but it's just another report that you can look at. So you can see here how you're doing throughout the company. And then it will break down just like the activity breakdown, and it shows how many people, how many goals they've done, their targets, and the actual numbers they've done. And it'll turn red and green over here on the right-hand side. If you have any questions, you can contact your account manager.